in college, you're a freshman and decide to run for class president. How surprised were you by the negative feedback that you received?
You know, I was stunned. I've always been fortunate enough to be in a racially mixed climate, both in school and elsewhere. But it was the first time that the racism was overt to me, that that there was a comfort level in some people to be overtly hostile, and that's eye-opening. You know, for a number of reasons. One, you don't think you're incredibly young, but you're incredibly young. You're away from home. You're in a new state. You're in a place where you're not familiar. You know, you're trying to do what every freshman's trying to do. You're trying to figure out school without at least telling everyone around you that you're utterly terrified. I mean, we've all been through it.
What was some of the negativity directed your way?
You know, the messages in your mailbox, the calls from people to your dorm room, you know, the notes that people are sliding under your door. You know, it's a, you know, I actually do stay away from sports analogies, but, you know, it's a gut check in a way.
Is there anything you specifically remember that was?
I remember everything specifically.
What stands out the most?
The ease and the again the comfort that a person must have in order to, you know, write a note that starts off with the N-word and what do you think you're doing, and to have a guy actually sign his name to it, to me is one of those things that I am sure my dad and my mom and my grandfather, I am positive that they had no trouble appreciating, because that was what they were surrounded with. That was the world that they lived in. You know, my experience, my world is you know, 40 years, 30 years later for them, and 20 years later than them. So when, you know, while they weren't shocked, I know they were concerned. I know that just like every parent, and I now think about, you know, my kids, you want to do everything you can to shelter, protect them from the things that are ugly in the world. You know, at the same time, you're trying to balance to make sure that they understand the reality of the world.
How did it impact the election for you?
I won. You know, to me, it's important to have the courage to stick with it. And you know, you asked me earlier about the pressure. Again, even though people were writing the notes and saying you can't win and saying that you shouldn't run and making sure that you understood just how ugly, you know, they could be, I didn't really feel, again, that much external pressure. The only pressure I felt was that internal, what are you going to do? And I don't look really at options of backing up or surrendering or giving in to things that I know that are wrong.